laugh over the song. No, just kidding. I think I'm supposed to be. There we go. That's so. I wondered why couldn't hear myself better. Well, I forgot I turned the sound down from earlier.
He's comedy venture. He's driving around the country. Him and a couple of buddies just telling jokes. Sometimes funny things happen, and that's why I do this show. Amy asked me lots of questions, but mostly if I got laid. Biggie's Comedy Venture. It's Biggie's Comedy Venture. Biggie's Comedy Venture. Biggie's Comedy Venture.
It's this week on the Biggie's Comedy Venture. By the way, for all our talk about the song, you have a very I just think it's you because it comes through Cash App. So I feel like it's someone that you know, but that a very nice, kind person keeps giving money, and I feel like I need to keep coming up with topics because that's the reason. There's always like a reasoning that it's. And this time it was that the song was awesome, and here's $15. So
that was so nice.
I feel like it's a girl because the name's Terry, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
it is
how
a
to
girl.
make that judgment. Okay. So yeah, that thank you so much for that to Terry because she has given money 3 separate occasions, and I really appreciate that. And I like that there's messages every time. I do like that it's not just here's money.
That's cool. Yeah, it shows that they listened.
Exactly. How's it going, Amy? I know we both just got fresh off doing other podcasts, huh?
Yes, we did. I was on Heroin Has a Great Publicist today with Mike from TDC podcast.
Yes, very cool.
And I'm also fresh off of a viral tweet. So
I know I saw that.
I don't mean to brag, but
I know you're a bigger person in this room for sure.
I swear, it was one of those situations where, like, pretty quick if a tweet's going to take off.
Almost anything on social media usually
know.
happens fast if it's going to happen.
Like, you have an idea, like, okay, this is getting out there. And so I noticed pretty quick, and there was a grammatical error. And I was like, fuck. So it was like either I let it keep going or I delete it and start over, and then you just never know if it's going to pick up the same traction. So I just let it keep going, and it has over 2 million views now. And like people are sending it. Dan sent a screenshot of he saw it in a Facebook group.
That's
just
hilarious.
So funny. I know.
Which was, how that's kind of counter. That must have been hard for him because also the grammatical error.
I know.
It's because I know he liked the message, but he probably was like, Amy, damn it, Amy, we're gonna look bad. You're gonna make people that think this look bad.
I know.
So I labeled this finally out of North Carolina, as we are finally out of North Carolina. This trip has been weird. Originally, I planned on just being in a state for each week. And because of various reasons of why I've gotten free places, like we spent 2 weeks in Florida and 2 weeks in North Carolina in the end, like 2 full weeks at various points in North Carolina, which wasn't intended, but it is what it is. And so I wanted to.
It's not like it's this like big giant state. It's not like it's California.
I mean, it's a decent. No, you're right. It's a decent state, but I know what you're saying. It's not Texas. It's not California. There's bigger states for sure. I wanted to get into real quick. I am gonna go back, but I wanted to get into something I've been doing today because I feel like this is. I have not always had these stories about me on the road and how do I fill my time at times. And so we're at this really cool Blue Green in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and they have a very nice, it's very nice here, and they have a miniature golf course that is it's actually legit. I could see paying $10 to play this golf course, but it's free, right? And so
it's not just like a putting green.
No. I mean, it has ones where there's little bridges, and I mean, it's really honestly legit. Very nice, and you just get to walk up, and they have the things there ready to go. You don't have to go and check anything out. You just walk up. There's tons of golf balls and stuff. So my point is, I'm someone who gets so weirdly in my mind where I think if I played this all day, could I just start getting hole in ones on every right? You know what I'm saying? And so today, I went out there and I got a 44 or something on 18 holes. Okay. And I'm okay, so the goal is under 40. you got to get under 40 today. And that's the goal. And I'm pissed.
How many times have you played?
Like 30. Like at least.
By yourself?
Yes, I'm just out there by myself. And it's like at one point I started hole 1 over 6 times in a row. Because if I'm not going to get it because to get under 40 in 18, you can only have 2 3s in each round of 9. And I know that technically you could get 4 and then get all 2s, but that's unlikely, right? You kind of have to have a pace. And so like at one point I got 3 on hole 1 4 times in a row. And I just walked right back and started back up. And there's like families there and stuff. And it's like
So have you done it yet?
No, I'm gonna get up when I'm done with you. This is what sucks. It's only open till 10, and it's supposed to start raining at 7. So it's like 5:15 or 5:17. As soon as I am done with this, I'm gonna go to that course until it rains, and play until it starts raining, because it's like I need to get this in somehow.
So funny.
But it's like I'm sitting there and just think
as like Tiger Woods is preparing after a year ago, getting into a horrible car accident to play in the Masters. Right. You're at this fucking putt-putt course in Gatlinburg.
Miniature golf, I know, right? Miniature golf for one, by the way. Man. But I want to correct you there.
What's the difference?
No, like this, putt-putt is for children, and obviously miniature golf is a experienced gentleman's game. So, I'm sitting there for real though. Like there's like families. And I had one time where I made it to hole like 14 or 13 or something. I was in the high 20s or wherever I was exactly. But then like I hit a 2 on a hole and I started looking at him like I'd have to literally hole in 1 out to make this. But on that one, it's like I am doing Tiger Woods-esque fist pumps. Like when I'm getting 2s in.
Did you get any hole-in-ones?
I did. I have gotten a few hole-in-ones. Yes. And it's like,
how jacked were you?
Oh, so excited. And it's so funny because there's literally families around here. We're definitely in that spring break time now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's kind of by the pool and there's other things going on. And now for real, I have the full on pedo beard almost rock. You know what I mean?
Seriously. I was just going to say the families there are probably like, what is this?
How is this man even affording to be at this place? Doing? Like, this is why we're going to these places, to not deal with men like this playing miniature golf by himself. Luckily, I wasn't cracking beers yet. Now that would have been maybe a problem.
That is so funny. I can just see it.
Can't you though? For real, you know how competitive I am. Yes. You know how mad I get if I don't get things. And it's like I'm 3 hours I spent today doing it so far. Oh my
god!
And I'm gonna do another hour after this, hopefully.
Where have your friends been?
They one was doing one of my friends went through another timeshare meeting today, and we hooked us up with a few more free nights at some places that we have to he went through the whole spiel, kept saying no. And they actually hooked it up where he got 7 days worth of stays, and the person set it up before we went that said they could do it for me because I could be his guest and I didn't even have to go. So we hooked us up with technically 14 days. You do have to pay the taxes on it, but they give you like $100 gift card that covers most of the taxes, I guess, or something. So we got one of the hippies spent the day in that, and then I did this, and the other guy I think was taking a nap. But
oh my god, what a life.
I wanted, you're right. And so, no, I thought this was a really good story because I thought that this is more realistic. Like if I'm given an opportunity where it's free. Like I said, I started hole 1 over at 1.5 times, 3 or 4 times in a row. Because I mean,
oh my God.
If I can't start off with at least a 2, there's no purpose in moving forward. Like you're not going to make it up the ground.
Well, and the thing is you probably haven't played like the 18th hole that many times, have you? Because you
twice.
Just started over. So on the game where you do get under a 40, you're gonna get to the 18th hole and you're gonna fucking blow it.
No, it's gonna be it's gonna be tight. 40 because this miniature golf course, like I said, like it's really set up for family fun. So when I say that, it's no, but I mean in the sense like it's not set up for golfing skill. You know what I mean? Like it's not meant to get hole in one. It's meant.
Aren't most putt places like that?
If you go back in the day, there used to be an official. I don't know if they're still around, but there used to be a place that was an official putt course. Everything else is miniature golf, by the way. If you ever notice, it's goofy golf, miniature golf. There used to be an official licensed putt course, and they were around the country, and they were set up honestly where it was like they used to have competitions. I used to watch it on ESPN. Where people would have like mini golf competitions and stuff. So those ones were like set up where, yes, there was obstacles, but you could, I'm not going to tell the whole story, but back when I was a kid, they used to have one up in the Thumb, and I'd go visit my grandparents, and our grandparents would let us play all day. They used to have this, long story short, there was a period of time where we were able to play for hours at a time, right? And so my point is like, we would get to the point where we were getting 12, 13 hole-in-ones on an 18-hole course.
Oh my God.
So like, but this one's set up more like, again, there's like little waterfalls. And so it's not even realistic that you could get a hole-in-one on every, I mean, it's not even possible almost to get a hole-in-one on every hole. But it's like, so my point is like, you're right that I'm going to, if I even get to this close to the elusive 40, I mean, it's going to be like I 2 or maximum. I'd be like, get like a 3 maximum, but it'd be like a 2 or a 1 most likely. Anyway, so I had that. It's so absurd. I'm 38 years old.
I know, 38 years old.
But it's like, I do feel like that is a perfect embodiment of what this trip was supposed to be. It's like me, other than the comedy, of course. But
of course.
And then yesterday we were in this area, and I went on this hike. And this is the other thing I wanted to say that was really cool. We were on this hike, or I went on this walk by myself. And it wasn't like, it was actually through regular roads. It wasn't like a hike in the woods. And I kept going up, and normally the cool part of the story would have been I got to the top, and it was houses, but it was basically the top of a mountain. You could see very far out. And that would have been normally the cooler part. But there was a part near the end of it that about a mile of the road was no houses, nothing. And the road was really thin, and there wasn't a lot there. And I was walking, and I heard this rustling, and no joke, I looked over, and 4 black bears, dude, like 50, honestly, less than a football field away. Like your face, I knew you didn't see where I was going. I knew you wouldn't see where I was going.
What? Did
Seriously.
you take fucking pictures?
You know what? I didn't have my phone on me. I purposely didn't bring my phone because I thought I was going to go for a run, and then it turned into more of a hike because it was so steep and stuff. So like I thought I was going to go for just a jog, like a 2 mile.
Shit.
Dude, they were right
Were
there.
They on the road?
No, but they were just like, I mean, like I said, less than a football field off the side. I heard this, and I look, and they're there. And luckily, they were more scared of me than I was. I mean, they actually weren't, by the way, because I was terrified. But
right.
And it sucked because I wanted to enjoy it. But also, I'm sitting there like,
oh my God.
Seriously.
Wait, so like big bears or like?
I mean, I don't know how big they looked. Pretty big to me. Like, I don't know what the biggest a black bear gets is, but they were not cubs. They were.
Oh my God. Were you dying?
I seriously was just frozen. And I'm like, and like I said, halfway between this is awesome and how incredible. And please don't let them think I'm a threat of any level. Like,
oh my God. I would have been freaking out, but I would have been so excited. Like, I would have been like shaking to get my phone out.
Right. So yeah, this is what happened. I sat there for a run and paused for a little bit, just full on, just like,
were they looking at you?
Yes.
Oh yes. My God.
And then they started.
Wait, were they standing up or on all?
No, they were down on their 4 legs, or 4 hands, and you know what I mean. And
oh my God.
And they started. So I paused, and then when I started moving, they started walking. Luckily, away into the woods, back up like a hill. But even then, I still was like, I don't know how long will they sit there and wait? How fast did they decide at some point I'm a threat? Like, because if they start running, I'm done.
I mean, like, are there others around too?
Right,
like,
right. And these were 4 that I saw for sure.
Right.
I've never seen anything that close or that in that situation before.
Oh my God.
And so I sat there and then I started slowly walking the way I was supposed to go. But I thought for a split second, should I walk back up another half mile to where houses are and just kind of sit there for a little bit? Or should I just go? And they stared me down a little bit, and then they started walking up, and I started slowly walking, like, kind of past them. I mean, not past them and like past them, but like, they're on my right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, walking that parallel, I guess, would be to them. And I reached a point where I felt like I couldn't see them anymore. And I just started sprinting as fast as I could.
I was going to say, did you book it out of there?
Yeah. Once I felt like they had walked away a little bit, right? Like I said, I couldn't see them anymore. And I literally started running as fast as I could.
I would have lost my fucking mind. That is crazy.
But it was so cool. Like I said, on the other hand, I'm literally black bears in the wild. And I'm like,
wild.
Right. It was
that
crazy.
Is so crazy.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh my God. That is so awesome. I mean, I get excited when I see fucking deer in the wild.
Right.
Like, when you remember that trail we walked on when you came, like, I would always see deer. I would get so freaking excited. Something about seeing an animal in its like natural habitat. That's kind of exciting.
Absolutely. And we actually saw some
4 fucking bears.
I know, dude. Honestly, like, you know what's funny? I went with my brother last year to Montana, and we saw a bear at one point, but it was way out there. We saw like a brown bear, I think. I guess that's a grizzly bear, I'm not sure. But we saw one, but it was like way in the distance. You almost had to get your binocular. Like, you could tell it was there. And we saw, I think, we saw some moose, or I don't remember. We saw a few things, and they were very cool. This is by far like the most real close experience I've ever had with a major animal before. It was,
I have to go to the UP for work here and there, and I'm always wanting to see like a moose or something, and I never see anything fucking cool like that. Although I did see an eagle, which was pretty cool.
Nice. We did see something else too, by the way, when we were in Tennessee, or back when we were in North Carolina. We did some elk. We did see some elk, I think, too. But
what do moose look like? Are they just like bigger deers with like antlers?
I think so. This is so bad. I think so. They're just much bigger though. I'm doing this with my arm. Like, much bigger, like real sturdy fucking animals, I think.
Do you know how you're supposed to scare a bear?
The signs are here, by the way. In the blue green, they tell you that they are on the, like, in this blue green, for example, they have dumpsters, like they always would, of course, that you could go, but they're like locked up where you have to like unchain stuff. Like, around this area, all the trash cans have the have you know what I'm talking about? That stuff where it's like so the paws can't get into it. So anyway, they have signs, and on the sign here, at least, it said what you should do is stay still as you can, move slowly, give them their space. You know what I mean? Yada yada. So that's what it said here. I know we always hear again. I think that's only if, like, attacking you. That's like if they're attacking.
Right. Yeah. Like, if you're face to face with one, then
it's like you're supposed to like, I think, get all big and shit.
Yeah, you're supposed to get bigger than it and like
try to yell, I guess, or something.
Yeah, but that you're bigger than them.
But in this instance, it sounded like anyway, it was pretty crazy, which was really cool.
That is crazy. And you know what? I mean, even though they're wild, I'm sure that
you know what?
They're so used to seeing people hiking that it's not like some remote, like mountain in fucking Montana.
No, you are right. Like, everybody in their houses in this area that I was walking around had their trash cans in things that had locks with them. So you're right. It wasn't like I was seeing them 10 miles out on a hike that, like, I'm in their home. I was kind of like, you're right. They are used to seeing people on some level, which I'm sure is what. But still, for me, when you're not used to it though yourself, you know what I mean.
I don't think like the video. I feel like one was in Tennessee where like people catch on their cameras, their Nest cameras, like the bears like coming up and like getting in the hot tub and stuff. And just like swimming around. It looks so fucking awesome. Wouldn't that be so cool?
Yes, it would be. Bears are funny looking or funny animals for sure.
I know.
Very
like
interesting.
It just wants to go in. I know.
So I'm gonna bring up another funny story, and this is before this stuff, but I still want to bring it up. So like, because I think I mean, I just think so. When we were still in when we were camping over the weekend in Turkey. We go into town and we realize there's a big casino. It's a Harris Casino, which is, you know, a big name and stuff like that. And it said it like, oh, sign up for a member, you know, and we'll give you $50 in free play, which casinos do that. That's the most I've ever seen. I've usually seen like $10 or $15, honestly. I've never seen 50 in free play. But it was like 50 free play. So we all decide like, hey, let's do it. Fuck it. We'll all go there. That'll be a thing to talk about. We can do it. Hey, you never know. Maybe we can even win some money. Unlikely, but you never know, right? And so we get there, and it's a very nice casino. It's very cool. It's yada, yada. And we're waiting. Yeah, we're waiting in line. And they pull us up. And this is a moment in my life, Amy, where it's like, I'm not meaning to be mean and I'm not meaning to direct anger at anyone necessarily, but I just have a hard time in life where things hit me sometimes that I can't really hold back very well. and we're signing up and I'm like, oh, he goes, your license, please, sir. I'm like, here it is. And he goes, oh, he's like, oh, you're actually already a member with us. You signed up in Vegas. I'm like, and instantly I'm just like, what? He's like, yeah, actually, you're already a member. And so I know this means I'm not going to get my $50 in free play. Right. And Amy, this is not the most proud moment I've ever had, but I may or may not have sat there very loudly, just repeating the word fuck to myself about 10 times with many people in the line. And while this worker is still trying to process my card that I don't need anymore, by the way. I mean, I was just literally I was just like, fuck. Like, I'm just like, and I couldn't stop. And God bless this worker, by the way.
He basically had a temper tantrum.
Yes. An adult temper tantrum. There was legit people in the line waiting. It wasn't like it was one of these. I mean, it was and Amy, it was literally like that. I was like, fuck. Damn it. This man, and then he tries to still say, well, you know, sir, there are still some bonuses we offer on Mondays that you can take advantage. And they're like, dude, Amy, you pull the thing and you get $5 or something. I'm like, and then my buddy walks up. He's like, next in line, sir. What is my buddy's like? He was like, your buddy didn't seem too happy there. And he's like, yeah, he's got some anger problems.
Oh, he's on the spectrum.
And I'm not even trying to I'm not exaggerating at all, by the way, for real about
oh my God.
I mean, I was full on just sitting there, just like, fuck, just yelling at a 38-year-old. And it's really just because I didn't get free play, by the way.
Right.
Because I couldn't scam the system somehow.
Right.
Then I, of course, had to gamble, and I went and lost roulette. 4 straight spins on the goddamn wheel, and not one could come through 1 through 12. That's all I needed was the ball to land 1 through 12. 1 through 12.
You should have taken it as a sign.
I should have, but I didn't take it as a sign, and I couldn't stop. 4 in a row. And the problem is with gambling like that, I don't know. I don't think you do a lot of gambling. I'm not like that type of gambling. But like when you're doing roulette is not a fucking skilled game. It is just a ball on a wheel. But it's like, it goes like, okay, 1 through 12 didn't happen. Okay, I'll do it again. It's like, it has to come eventually, but it doesn't technically do. There's no reason it has to. Then it's super would.
Just the law of averages.
It's like, oh my God. We have another story that we had that Scott got involved with on the casinos that I'm going to wait and tease for the fact that, hey, just FYI, I also do the 2 Hippies, 1 Drunk on the Road show once a week where we talk about our life on the road. And we are going to get into this story. Scott had a similarly, he didn't lose money, kind of, but he had a really terrible, stupid story from his casino trip as well. But I'm going to save that for that. And you know, there are more people, listeners, as far as I know of, than just Terry. But and for you guys out there who are listening and Terry's really destroying you guys by giving money. Literally, I know I'm looking out as if people can see. If you're watching on Facebook, you can see. I see you out there. No, no big deal. I'm not going to ever, make anybody pay us, or I'm not going to ever make any of this, paid programming or anything like that. But we are on the trip. It would help. It helps us every time someone to give us money. So Eric Fady, EricFadie. We put out like 4 shows a week plus lots of content. I don't know. Did you at all see the video I did where I made this claim about my beer and pop thing?
No.
So I've had a claim for a long time, Amy, that I could tell the difference. If you had a beer or a pop by me, that I could tell the difference between the opening of a beer and the opening of a pop.
Okay.
And so we finally took a video and put that into real life to try to put my money where my mouth was. And we had 3 Pepsis and 3 Natter Day beers, and I got all 6 wrong. I didn't get one right. How's that possible? How could you not? It's 50-50. 50. And by the way, my goddamn gambling habit. I had 4 spins there, right? And I had 3 spins when we were in New Orleans. So I have not 7 spins on a roulette wheel in a row that have not gone my way. 7. Fuck, man. How's that possible? Oh.
You're going to hit big soon, so you should bet more.
So more likely, the point is you should fill my gambling habit and not the road trip.
Yeah,
it's more of my gambling habit than the road trip. But
exactly.
So anyway, you should check the video out because it's remarkable. But my point is, we do these videos. That video has 700 views. I know we didn't get $700 that came in, and all you guys watch that video. So you can throw $1 our way, $1 at Eric Fady Venmo. And man, time flies. I'm gonna say, I don't know what we're gonna do next week yet, Amy. We'll talk about it because I'm not sure that I'm gonna bring my iPad home with me because on my trip, I've realized I don't need all the clothes I packed. So I have a full backpack I'm bringing home to dump at my parents' house and not bring back with me. So I might not bring the iPad, but I am going home for a few days. So we'll see what we do next week. But so I'll be coming home. So I'm not sure if we'll be doing the show, or maybe I'm thinking of different ways, but I'm just not sure yet. But point is to people, this has been 3 months that we've been on the road, and it's fucking wild. And I am coming home.
Crazy.
And I think it's going to be weird. I think it's going to be kind of weird. You know what I mean?
I bet your parents are excited.
They are. Most likely, more importantly, I get to see Tony, obviously.
Yes, you do.
That is obviously the most important. I'm sure my mom wouldn't agree with that, but it is. And I think that's about it. I think that should wrap. I feel like I did a lot of talking in the end, and I feel bad that I don't think I left a lot of room for you to like. I just had to say stuff, but you know what's funny? We didn't do this on Monday because I had an issue. Then Tuesday you weren't feeling that great, so we did it today. And I would have done it by myself today, I think. And even though most of this time I really talked just into the microphone without looking at someone and have some level of reaction, I don't think it's not as good. So I didn't let you talk too much, Amy, so I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Oh, no worries. No worries, E. Those are good stories. I'm glad you're having fun.
I'd say, I said this, and I wouldn't feel bad for my mom to hear this. I'm coming home at this point because I told my mom I would at one point at some time to just because she did not want me to be gone for that long of a time. But I have finally turned the corner with my buddies. That's I could keep going. There was a period about a month ago where I was still dealing with anxiety and still, I think, dealing with things where this was harder than I realized. And I've really come to realize that that's because I've had a lot of anxiety in my life that just dealt with it. I've had anxiety problems with anxiety that I never really was dealing with. Point is, I really am at the point where I don't really feel like I need to come home. I'm doing it for my mom, but I've turned kind of this corner on the trip where I feel like,
well, good.
I could keep rocking and rolling if I wanted to. So, well, I talked probably 90% of this podcast, but that's okay.
Well, hey, hit that golf course. Get out there.
That's a good point. Oh my God. I only got an hour and 20 minutes till it starts raining, I think. So thank you, Amy.
Good luck. Keep us posted.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.